for you, Tom. What's it like reuniting Rage Against the Machine in the current political climate? Right, you know, this is maybe like the perfect band for right now.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, like, Rage Against the Machine was all wound up about the Clinton administration. You know, like that seems like we were pissed, like crazy, you know. And now we sort of descend
downtown Staples Center.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think that was definitely one of the major impetus behind doing the reunion now was because, you know, in the last 6.5 years, how the country's slid into a right-wing purgatory, and that everyone should use whatever means at their disposal to speak out against it, to act against it. And so Coachella, we thought was a pretty huge stage for that band to make a return and to, you know, and to let those songs to me didn't, you know, playing on, you know, that stage in front of, you know, whatever 50 or 60,000 people didn't feel the least bit nostalgic. It felt like they were songs kind of written for that moment.
Right. So, System of a Down, are you at liberty to disclose the status of that band?
It's actually very confidential. No, yeah, of course. We just decided to kind of take time and do our own thing.
Okay.
And if we, you know, we just didn't set a timetable. I mean, if we want to do something in the future, we'll get together. If all four of us feel like doing something as System, we'll get together and do it. And if we don't, then we keep on doing our own things. It's not, there's no laws. I mean, the thing about bands that I've noticed being in one for 11 years is that people expect it to be a permanent institution. And that's fine if that works, you know. But I think, like, for the sake of art itself, I like seeing different people doing different things outside of their group and taking time and effort to focus on those things as well. I think it grows for the band. I mean, it's a growth thing when they get back to the band, and as individuals as well. I think music is too precious for it to be limited between just a select group of people and just to see those people your whole life play that one group kind of thing. I don't know, that's just how I am, but we're all friends, we're cool with each other, and if we want to do it again, we get together and do it again. If we want to do a benefit show, whatever, the door's open.
Cool.
We're cool.
Cool. Yeah, you know, if you think about it, I mean, both of you guys have a lot of records and you love music. You thinking about it that way, you wonder maybe some bands should have taken some breaks from each other.
Yeah.
If not to play with other people, just to not write, tour, record, that whole thing. They maybe, like, you know, even a band like Zeppelin or Sap, the big bands, cool bands, should have taken a year to go, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you got the record contracts, delivery deadlines, all this stuff happening, and that's another part of the pressure, that it makes you into an established product, and that's the last thing System wants to be, you know? I mean, we're the ones saying fuck you to the product, you know? So it's like...
It is nice when you get away from it for a moment, because you come back to it with this new gear. And I don't think enough musicians, they lose out on their own potential by not opening the jar and, like, getting more air into the thing. Last question for you guys, and perhaps the most important. There's so many people, young people, all kinds of people in America who are concerned, who see these headlines, and they're like, this is awful. These are, you know, dead Iraqis, dead Americans. It all sucks. But I'm in Minnesota. What can I do? And it's that inability to feel like you have movement and power and the ability to be proactive that cripples not only themselves but the rest of us. Absolutely. So what can you all recommend for people who want to be involved to become involved and become not inert but active and moving?
I mean, the first thing is to realize that you are an agent of history. History is not stuffy dates and facts and kings and queens and things that happened in the past. What you do today and in your lifetime determines what happens now and what happens in the future. That's how history happens. And that's when there's progressive change, radical change, or revolutionary change, it comes from the bottom. It comes from people it's not getting the right president into office. It's not packing the Supreme Court the right way. That's not how women got the right to vote. That's not how lunch counters got desegregated. It's not how the Berlin Wall fell, and it's not how apartheid ended. It's because people stood up in Minnesota or in Soweto. They stood up for their rights where they live, where they work, and where they go to school in an uncompromising way, and used their intellect, used their power, used their creativity, used who they were, and banded together to make change. That's how it happens. And I think that it's very easy to, there's like an atomization that occurs where you feel comfortable in front of your PlayStation alone or with your bro, or but comfortable in front of your MySpace page, and just sort of let the world happen outside of that. But that's not how change happens. Change happens by standing up.
And realize that it's that feeling of impotence that's causing all of this. We're part of the problem. We're creating this problem. You know, I'm as responsible as Bush is. You know, once you realize that, then then it starts to change, and you know, there's a lot people can do. I mean, that's what they don't realize. It's that you got to get rid of that impotence. You know, once you do, you become empowered, and then you get together with other people that become empowered, and it grows like fire.
Thank you so much. This is a tremendous interview. You guys are very inspiring to me as artists and as activists, and you got me fired up. And I'm usually pretty fired anyway.
So that's
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Henry.
Right on.
Man.